going on, fellow Hellheimers?
Hellhimians?
Yes, Hellheimians.
Hellheimers? Nope, that's a bad one. I'm taking that one back.
My homies. Hope you all are well. It is another beautiful, okay, it's not beautiful, it's hot as shit here. But we're alive and breathing, so we can't really complain. Although Duffy might, you never know.
Maybe.
He doesn't like being alive and breathing.
No. You're not wrong.
Am I, though? Am I not wrong?
What?
Exactly.
I'm so confused.
It's okay, because a lot of people might be after this episode depending on what you got for them and what I got for them.
You want to go first on this one?
I can do that.
Can you? You didn't sound too confident in yourself on that one.
Oh, no.
Don't believe in yourself. Believe in me who believes in you.
Help me help you.
And through all things, what is it? And through Jesus, all things are possible.
Right? I wouldn't know anything about that. But you know what? It's okay. I'll believe you. I will take your word.
Sucker.
So,
You just got conned.
damn it, not again.
Congratulations, you're Catholic now.
What?
Gotcha.
Never.
Alright.
So,
Enough of our shenanigans and tomfoolery.
shitnanigans.
What the fuck?
So, I was looking some stuff up and stumbled across some interesting happenings. Something that I didn't know about that actually started back in like 2022 and is currently still going on to this day.
Oh, okay. What do you got for us?
So this is the Charlise Mutton murder, which is a deeply distressing and complex situation involving a young girl, her mother, and her stepfather. So she was a 9-year-old girl that had been living with her grandparents in Queensland due to her mother, Kalllista Mutton's struggles with drug addiction. But despite her mother's issues, Charlise maintained a close relationship with her, regularly communicating and visiting. So she had traveled to the from the Gold Coast to Sydney in December of 2021 to spend Christmas and New Year with her mother, Kalllista, and her mother's partner, Justin Lawrence, I'm assuming it's Stein. The family spent time between a property at Mount Wilson and a caravan at Riverview Ski Park about 90 minutes away. Kind of interesting.
Sorry.
Right. On January 11th or 12th of 2022, Charlise was reportedly last seen alive. That evening, Justin had took Charlise back to the Mount Wilson property alone, while Kalllista stayed at the caravan park. The following day, Justin was seen on CCTV at a service station towing a boat and allegedly transporting a barrel containing Charlise's body. So the discovery of the body, she was reported missing by her mother on January 14th, 2022. On January 18th, police found her body in a barrel near the Colo River, northwest of Sydney. She had been shot once in the head and once in the lower back. Now that is extremely fucked up, especially for a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
So CCTV footage and phone location data tracked Justin's movements on the 12th, showing him towing a boat and the barrel. This data was crucial in leading police to the location where Charlise's body was found. Now, Charlise's grandfather testified about her upbringing and the family's dynamics, highlighting the bond between her and her mother despite the past difficulties. They even played some voicemails in court that revealed Justin making threats against Kalllista, indicating a tumultuous and potentially violent relationship. Now, the prosecution alleges that Stein killed Charlise, transported her body in a barrel, and disposed of it near the Colo River. They argue that Justin's actions were premeditated and point to the evidence of his movements and threats against Kalllista as indicative of his guilt. Now, the defense claims that Kalllista Mutton was responsible for Charlise's death, arguing that she shot her daughter and Justin only helped dispose of the body out of fear and confusion. They suggest that Justin's behavior was a reaction to Kallista's actions, rather than his own. Now, surprisingly, the trial is actually still ongoing, with both prosecution and defense presenting their cases, witnesses, and all that is still going on, and it's anticipated to last for several, well, this says weeks, but, it is a little bit older info, but it's been going on for quite some time. Even today, they're saying that the alleged killer tells the court, "I never touched her," and denies drugging the girl. So Justin has pleaded not guilty to murdering Charlise in January 2022, claiming it was the girl's mother who shot her. Justin has admitted to dumping the girl's body and lying to police in initial interviews, but he claims Mutton put the body in the barrel without his knowledge. And they're still doing cross-examinations and trying to figure out what exactly happened. Now, they did do a toxicology report that Charlise had traces in her body of an antipsychotic drug, Seroquel, which Justin had been prescribed to treat schizophrenia. The court was previously told an adult dose of the drug would have a significantly sedating effect on a child. And they were asked if they were concerned when they had given her that fucking pill. And all the dude Justin could reply was, "I hadn't given it to her." So now they really don't know much else besides that she had been spending time at those two different properties, which were about a 90-minute drive away. And they are saying that they believe Charlise spent the night alone with Justin at the Mount Wilson property on the 11th, and that the killing had happened that evening or the following day. Now, I guess they had some stuff going on where Justin had agreed to having spent the night at the property with her, but he said the girl was alive the next day and traveled with him to pick up Mutton from the caravan before all three went to Sydney. According to his account, the trio returned to Mount Wilson on the evening of the 12th of January, and he was working in the shed on the property shortly after 9 p.m. when he heard a gunshot. "I went outside the shed. That's when I heard Charlise screaming, 'Mummy, no!' And then bang, there was a second gunshot." Now, Mutton has denied and broke down in tears and, is trying to pin it on Justin, but at the moment they're trying to still figure out what's going on. They've had phone calls from the jail between Justin and his mother, contained different versions of what he had told the court as he appeared as the defense's only scheduled witness. So there's apparently quite a bit of inconsistencies. The crazy part is that, again, if you think about it, this shit happened back in 2022, and they're still trying to figure out what exactly happened to this little girl, which is something that I would say parent should have to go through, but being we don't know if it was the mother, if it was the mother's boyfriend, partner, whatever they want to call it, I can't really say that they should never have to go through it because they fucking caused it. Or, one of them.
Or both of them. We don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking tough.
Yeah. It says right here after it's still like ongoing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That little tidbit was from 5 days ago.
Yeah. As of 2 days ago, the verdict is on hold in Charlise Mutton's murder trial as juries are sent home and accused for the weekend.
Yeah, that's insane. Hopefully they can figure this out because, again, that's just fucked, man. Like, you don't shoot people unless it's self-defense.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, there's no fucking 9-year-old girl that is doing something so atrocious to an adult that he needs to pull out a gun. I'm sorry, this is all just the way the fucking world is going now. Again, we've talked a little bit about it, but when you have the news glorifying this kind of thing, then it's going to keep happening. Yeah. So it's unfortunate that we, in a sense, are giving the media all the power they need to keep that shit going and keep getting these stories.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the fucking squirrels on surfboards with little remote-controlled boats, that could water ski and shit like that?
They murdered their family.
Nowadays, I would not fucking doubt it.
Yeah. It's fucked up, dude. Because the way I see it, even if the mom didn't kill the kid and it was her boyfriend, she's still a piece of shit for allowing it to get that far. Like, if there was already, like, him making threats, like, I'm gonna fucking kill you and all that shit, you should be smart enough to distance that person from your child.
And yourself.
Exactly. Because either he's going to kill you or he's going to kill your kid or he's going to do both. And if she's the one that killed her kid, then she's a fucking extra piece of shit.
Yeah, you got to take threats and shit seriously when there's children involved. Yeah. I get it if it's, just you and, you want to be macho man, macho woman, whatever you want to do, try and prove yourself that, I'm, a tough motherfucker, let them threaten me, whatever, it means nothing. Nah, I'm sorry. Like I said, with kids involved, you threaten my family and we'll have issues.
Oh yeah, I will fucking put you down.
Yeah, there's no chance of kids, me putting my kids in that kind of danger. That's unthinkable.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's weird. We'll have a night where my mom will watch the kids, so it'll just be an easier night and morning, can get a little extra sleep in, and even then it feels weird. Oh, do you want me to watch them 2 days? Nope. Too fucking weird, too fucking quiet, just doesn't work. So I couldn't imagine losing a kid, especially fucking harming a kid. Like, I don't know, man. I think people may not like this because nowadays we live in a world where a lot of people are more for softer punishments and this, that, and the other. But I'm sorry. He needs, or whoever they find guilty needs to get shot in the back and then shot in the head just the fucking same.
Yeah. Realistically, the way I see it is, if she didn't have anything to do with it, she should still be put on trial for, like, negligence, at least. Because if he's making these threats and because she came out and said that he was threatening her, like, before all this. Right. You should have been smart enough. Like, I get everybody's gonna be like, oh, well, she's a grieving mother and all this and that. Even though she's a grieving mother, this all could have been prevented if she would have just fucking, like, separated herself. And I know it's easier for me to say it than, like, for it to actually be done. Because I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, yeah, he yells at me, but you don't know how he is, like, when it's good. Like, when he's not yelling, it's good. Like, no, you're fucking stupid. You put your kid in danger because you didn't separate yourself from this fucking guy. And even if he's just disposing the body because she killed her, you're just as fucking guilty. You should have called the cops and you should have fucking turned her in.
Yeah, and
there's no excuse. They should both be fucking punished for this.
Yeah, it's a tragic loss. And I mean, I don't know. I'm very disappointed in the way shit's going these days. Like, No matter what you do, kids should always be first if you have them.
Yeah.
You know, not taking that kind of shit seriously, not double checking things.
But
like, there's a difference between a relationship and your traditional, yes, every relationship, there's arguing, there's problems.
Yeah, but if they're threatening to
like
kill
that.
you, that's when you should probably put a stop to it at that point.
Yeah, that's when you draw the line and know, hey, this shit's going a little too far.
But that's the thing, though. There are a lot of mothers, they have the thing, and even fathers, too. I can't just say mothers. Whereas they're selfish. They want to put their relationship before the well-being of their children. And we've had countless cases, and we've gone over some of these like on the podcast, too, where the parent isn't smart enough to separate themselves, and they end up either having their kid getting murdered by their step-parent.
Yeah.
Or them assisting in the murder, or like killing the child because it's too much hassle for the relationship.
Or, I mean, you know, nowadays people are so paranoid about daycares, and you can't blame them. I mean, just the other day, well, it was actually more along the lines of like a few weeks back, but there was a daycare worker who some baby wouldn't stop crying and murdered the fucking baby.
Yeah. People are fucking rotten, man. Like, even the best of people, they're fucking corrupt. People are just fucking garbage at this point. Like, it's fucking sad to say, but there's so many fucking things happening. Like, you'll listen to, like, fucking, like, day after day after day, you'll see, like, oh, well, this person got murdered. This kid got murdered. Like, it fucking sucks, dude, because then at a certain point, people just become numb to it. Like, with school shootings, there's so many fucking frequent ones that are happening that nobody can keep track of them. And I remember when it first started, like when I was younger, we'd see like a school shooting and it fucking shut down the nation.
Oh yeah.
And now we're getting like 3, 4, fucking 5 school shootings a week. And everybody's like, oh, thoughts and prayers. And that's the whole fucking thing, dude. Like, people are fucking disgusting, dude. They're fucking rotten to the core. And I get that it's not everybody, but it's just a fucking large amount where you have to see these heartbreaking cases where these little kids are getting fucking, like, murdered. And, like, this one, dude, at least they found the body so the family can have some form of closure.
Yeah.
There's, like, a bunch of cases where, like, they go missing for fucking years. And the person gets arrested and they fucking get convicted. And they're like, no, I'm not going to tell you where the body's at.
Yeah. And they never see him again. Never know.
Yeah.
Just end up burying and visiting an empty grave.
I believe that fucking, if you get convicted of a murder of a child, and they have like a good amount of proof on you that you did it, they should be executed. No fucking, don't give them the chance to fucking confess and take the murder charge off. Don't, like, no. Like, no, he confessed. He's doing life in prison. Like, no. Don't give him life in prison. Fucking kill him. He's an animal.
Yeah, why are we wasting the money?
Exactly. We're wasting more of the fucking taxpayer dollars to keep this fucking piece of shit alive.
And let him get all kinds of fame and infamy on the inside? No, that should never be the case.
Because a lot of these people don't really fucking, they don't repent for this shit. They'll say that they do just to make them look better. But they're fucking animals. They should be put down as hostile animals.
Well, and that's the thing people need to realize too, you know. I won't get too deep into it because it's not what the channel's about, but, you know, everyone's blaming, the people who ship guns, games that portray guns, gun manufacturers. I myself have never seen a gun grow legs, go walk someone with its own conscience and shoot someone. Yeah. It's the person with the mental health issues or the fucked up family or the messed up past or a mixture of all those things combined that their head isn't on straight and they end up just fucking snapping one day. And that's what happens. Yeah,
they want to put more money into gun reform. It's cool to be able to like put like money into like, keep guns out of dangerous people's hands. Like, you know how you stop that even ahead of time before gun reform?
Mental health.
Exactly. You put more money into mental health and less into gun reform. Get these people the help that they need. Like, what was it? There was a dude that shot up a McDonald's like in the 80s, and he had called like a mental health line. Yeah. And he was on the phone for like an hour, and they never fucking got to him. This dude, and he was telling everybody like, hey, I'm feeling off. Like, I think I'm going to do something. And they were never able to help him. And even now, here in the United States, fucking mental health care is a fucking joke here.
I mean,
they don't take it serious.
The entire healthcare system here is a joke.
Yeah, they don't take shit serious, dude. Like, yeah, they'll give you a therapy session, but then they're gonna charge you like fucking $300 for a fucking hour.
So now you're in debt, feel worse, and are on medications, and make you want to kill people instead.
Yeah, and at this point, like, it's not evening out. Like, what you're getting paid isn't able to cover that.
Yeah.
Like, you're living fucking, at this point, you're living like, well, I can afford to either, like, get mental health, or I can pay my fucking car note, or I can pay my rent, or I can buy groceries.
Yeah.
I need to do something where, I don't know, we're going too deep into this already, and I'll just wrap up my point real quick so we can get to the next thing. This isn't what the podcast is about, but it is about having open debates about stuff and kind of like relating to the story. But I feel like a lot of these cases were like mental health, like you'll see that they'll plead insanity, but these people have never not once tried to get any help for it.
It's just a scapegoat for a lesser sentence.
It is, but at that point, they should at least, like, if you know you have something inside you that isn't alright, you should at least try to get the help for it. Like, yes, it's going to be expensive, unless you have, like, really good insurance, but they have to figure something out with that, because could prevent so many, like, of cases like this.
Yeah. Well, I mean that and just the stigma, like, yes, I get it. Oh, I'm seeing a psychologist, a therapist. People are going to think I'm crazy. Guess what? It doesn't fucking matter what people think. If you know you have an issue and you're doing what you can to fix it and get that problem solved, then that makes you the bigger person out there in the bigger picture of things. Like, you're taking care of what you need to take care of. There's always an ear. There's always a shoulder to cry on, an ear to listen, someone to, say whatever's needed to at least try and help bring up your spirits enough so you can vent that shit out. Let it happen.
Yeah, and I get that too, because I come from a culture where, like, you don't really talk about mental health.
Yeah.
Until it gets bad. And then like, oh, he's got the SADs. Like, no, fuck that. If people, they try to judge you for your mental health, you trying to get help for mental health, fuck them. Fuck them. They're fucking ignorant. You got to do what's best for you. You got to make sure that you're okay.
Yeah. If you can't be happy with yourself or how you are or your mental state, then you can't be happy with anything. Everything starts and ends with you. So, again, this is kind of off the normal beaten path, but it is a serious issue that, yes, it may contribute stories to this podcast, but it's not stories that we enjoy telling, but it's just part of what we do. So if you have anything going on in your life and you need to talk, find that person to talk to. If you need to vent, we have that Telegram. Come on, talk your shit, yell at us, vent it out, vent your frustrations, whatever you got. And we'll be that open ear. At least hopefully you can feel better, even if it's for, that brief 5, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, hour, whatever you need to talk.
You gonna cut that out?
Yeah.
Ding! I was like, shit, damn, they're already looking for help.
Yeah, so if you, need to vent, we have that Telegram. So go there, vent with us, just something. Anything and any help is better than no help and just letting shit go on.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's time to pivot into the next story.
Yes,
damn,
definitely.
I don't know, man. Your stories bum me out. They're like so fucked up. Because they're fucking like tragic, dude. Like, well, all of these that we cover are tragic.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. It always hits me harder when it's a little kid.
Yeah.
Like, you feel worse because you know that the little kid didn't do anything.
Oh, yeah. They, they're basically the essence of pure innocence.
Yes, sir. Damn. All right, well, your story is heavy. Let's go with something. I don't want to say lighthearted because it's still pretty fucked up. But it's not as bad as your story.
Something a little on the more mellow end.
Sort of. Not really.
Softer.
Okay. So my story this week is about The Denver Spider-Man.
Denver Spider-Man, huh?
Denver Spooderman.
Fuck it. What is this Denver Spider-Man?
All right. So this is a story of the Denver Spider-Man and the murder that perplexed Denver police for nearly a year. Sadly, he was not a masked vigilante protecting the people of the Mile High City, swinging from web after being bitten from a radioactive spider. He was a murderer. Bum bum.
Damn. Sorry all you Marvel fans out there, but the real Spider-Man is a killer.
Yep. The victim's name was Philip Peters. He was a retiree of the Denver and Rio Grande Western Railroad and had lived in his home on West Moncrief Place for over 3 decades. He was married to Helen, and their children were now adults, one of whom lived in Grand Junction. Not only was Peter a former railroad employee, husband, and father, but he was also a musician and member of the Denver Guitar Club, where he and his wife sometimes gave guitar and mandolin lessons. In fact, it was through the Denver Guitar Club that Peters first met the man who would be his murderer.
Damn, that's kind of dark. Yeah. Hello, want to be my friend? I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna teach you how to play the mandolin. I'm gonna bash your fucking head in.
With the said mandolin.
What was that?
Nothing.
Fuck.
Web of suffocation.
No breathing?
Nope.
All right, back to the story. For 5 weeks leading up to his murder, he had been staying in the house alone because Helen was recovering at St. Anthony's Hospital after breaking her hip in a fall.
Damn.
Yeah. His neighbor opened their homes to him in the evening so that he wouldn't have to be alone at dinner time, and so he could enjoy a hot home-cooked meal and leftovers to take for his lunch the next day. On the night of October 17, 1941, Peter discovered a tall, gaunt, and disheveled man raiding his icebox. A fight ensued, and the interloper grabbed Peter's cast-iron stove shaker.
The fuck is a cast-iron stove shaker?
I have no idea.
Who the fuck refers to a fridge or freezer as an icebox?
It's the 1940s, so I understand that.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, see? Yeah, this tall, gaunt man in my icebox. Nope. My icebox. Icebox.
No. you can't take that back.
Cut that out. Cut it.
It is out there in the air.
We gotta cut it out.
Free Willy.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
You heard it here, folks. There's a tall, gaunt man in Duffy's ass box.
Stop it. We're gonna get demonetized.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. A fight ensued, and the interloper grabbed Peter's cast-iron stove shaker and beat him to death with it before fleeing.
Jesus.
Yeah. Peter was discovered an hour later by his worried neighbors, and the Denver police were called. They searched the house but couldn't find any evidence of the murder. It was as if he vanished into thin air. While detectives dug into Peter's past searching for enemies who hated him enough to want him dead, Mrs. Peters was eventually released from the hospital and returned home a widow. A good friend of hers moved in to help around the house. In the months following Miss Peters' return, she and her friend reported strange things happening around the West Moncrief Place house. Food missing, strange sounds, things out of place. The friend was convinced that the house was haunted and resigned, while Miss Peters decided to relocate to Grand Junction to live with her son. So the house stood vacant, and the strange sound and disgusting smell continued to be reported to the police, but they couldn't find anyone in the house. Everything changed in July 1942. Once Denver police decided to station 2 detectives, Roy Bloxam and Bill Jackson, outside the house and keep it under surveillance, instead of waiting for a call from the neighbors. The vigilance paid off when Bloxam and Jackson spotted a man inside the house. They ran inside, but the house was empty until they heard a noise upstairs. They opened a closet door just in time to spot a pair of legs disappear up in a small opening in the house attic. They grabbed the legs and pulled the man, attached them back to the ground. They caught their man. The suspect was arrested and taken downtown, where he confessed to his crimes and told his story. Theodore Coney was born in Illinois in 1880, but came to Denver in 1910, where he remained. As a child, he had poor health, which continued to plague him into adulthood. Because of his health, and perhaps also because of the Great Depression, Coney struggled to keep a job long term, and frequently found himself without a place to live except for doorways and alleys around Denver. At some point, Peters and Coney had become acquainted at the Denver Guitar Club. So one evening, Coney went to Peters' house hoping to be able to ask them for some money and maybe something to eat. Unfortunately, this was when Helen was at the hospital and Peters was keeping her company, so no one was home. Coney decided to break into the house and steal food. A few days later, he tried to do it again, but this was when he was found by Peters. Coney insisted to police that beating Peters had been a split-second decision. After he killed Peters, Coney sought refuge up in the attic where he stayed up until July. Denver police sent the smallest officer up into the cramped attic where Coney had made himself a nest of sorts. He had collected his waste and had not bathed during the attic residency, and the stench ended up making the officer vomit. After recovering from losing his lunch, Officer Fred Zarno said the attic, a man would have to be a spider to stand it long up there. Huh. And to stand, I'm assuming he'd have to be a spider to be able to be comfortable in there.
Okay.
They phrased it weird.
It happened.
The newspaper heard this and ran with it. Theodore Coney was dubbed the Denver Spider-Man, and a legend was born. Coney was charged and convicted of the murder by a jury and sentenced to life in prison in October of 1942. He was sent to the state penitentiary in Cañon City and remained there until his death on May 16, 1967, at the age of 84. He was buried in a nearby cemetery. Perhaps this tale sounds familiar to you because the legend lives on. In the 1950s, Earl Stanley Gardner mentioned this case in his cool and lame novel, Beware the Curves. CSI Crime Science Investigation updated this story for the 21st century in Season 2 with the episode Stalker in 2002. At a live episode at the Boulder Theater in 2017, co-host of the podcast, my favorite murderer, Karen Guilford, shared the story of the Denver Spider-Man. Dun dun.
Bum bum.
Yeah, but I mean, it's crazy. That's fucking wild, dude. Because this dude was not a small guy. He was fucking tall, and they had to send the smallest officer to get in there and be like, you have to be fucking crazy to be able to be comfortable in there. It's like,
well, and the weird thing is, too, now that's a big occurrence. I mean, how many videos have we seen watching, chills or nukes where it's, oh, we have all this crazy movement in the house and weird shit, so we put up a camera and there's someone crawling out of a crawl space where the people are at work and then going back up in when they know they're going to be home.
I remember that one that we saw where that dude had set up a camera and that lady was coming out of like the air vent.
Yep.
And she was stealing food and then he fucking caught her. Didn't he like drag her out by her leg or some shit?
I don't remember exactly what happened, but I know the one you're talking about.
I swear to God, dude, if I catch somebody fucking like sneaking back into the vent and like their head's the last thing, I'm grabbing them by their fucking head and I'm pulling them down to the ground. I'm fucking pile driving. I'm gonna drop a fucking their head spike right into the ground. I'm going to cripple them.
Right into the ass box.
Exactly, right into the ass box. You dick.
No, I mean it's fucking terrifying to think that, there's people that can be that sneaky and that quiet for so damn long, or just that secretive.
The worst part was that he was collecting his waste up there, which means he was shitting in the attic.
Yeah, no, that's kind of terrible. I mean, you think if you basically had that to yourself that you're going to go down and use a toilet, like.
But at the same time, I don't think he knew, like, he was fully alone, because he knew that, I mean, the cops were staking it out, so he was trying to be as cautious as possible, but they caught him. What would you do if you were the cop that was on that dude? He was just you and then, like, another cop, and then you run inside and you don't see anything, and you just see a pair of legs going up into the attic? Because this is a tall dude.
My instinct, which is probably why I wouldn't make a good cop, maybe.
Shoot up into the ceiling?
Well, I mean, yes, that as well. But no, I would immediately grab and yank, and it'd be to the point where either there'd be dislocated legs, or he'd be coming down so far, it would be like a legs to stomach and then neck snap face down, like. Yeah, it wouldn't be pretty, but I'd yank them the fuck out.
I'm still imagining, like, if I caught somebody, like, sneaking into my vent and they're just, like, their head and just, like, grabbing them and spiking them into the ground. It would be that fucking, like, that pile driver that, who was it, Owen Hart gave Stone Cold Steve Austin that paralyzed them.
Oh, God.
He like straight on his neck. And then I talk mad shit.
Yeah.
Slender man looking fuck. You little duty basket boy.
No, it's insane how, that kind of incident has transcended fucking time. Like, it's still going on.
You still see it in movies
day.
and shit. We saw one like a couple months back where he was like living in a closet, but like a loose floorboard, and he was having an affair with like the lady who had the house built or something.
There's that. There was one video I saw of people. It was some cops, and there was this lady called like the Roof Ninja or some shit.
Yeah.
And she was somehow on the roof of this like grocery store in this weird space that they had up there. She'd been living there for a fucking year, treating that as an apartment.
Oh yeah, dude.
She had fucking hamburgers like tucked in a certain spot where it's cold, so it'd keep them. Yeah. Like fucking hamburger patties ready to go, fucking clothes. Like cops went up there to get her out.
In a convenience store?
Yeah, like above like a local convenience store somewhere.
Is it like a convenience store or is it like a grocery store?
Sorry, grocery store.
Okay, then how the fuck is she cooking those hamburgers? Is she eating raw meat?
No, but she had like a Keurig and shit up there, so she was tapping into their electricity.
That crafty bitch.
Yeah, no, she'd been living there for a year, and they didn't know up until, I guess, some maintenance people went up there and saw her.
Imagine she's just heating up fucking chunks of hamburger on a spoon like a junkie. With a lighter, come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby.
As soon as it turns brown, it goes down.
Keurig's almost done boiling. Mama's gonna have herself some hamburger helper tonight.
Hamburger helper and coffee.
I don't know, man, but I'm still laughing. Like, you're like, that's why I would be a bad cop. I was like, because you shoot up into the ceiling. You're like, no, I'd grab the leg. I was like, I'd make a worse cop. Come out with your head up and your hands on your ass. What?
Yeah, no.
Dodge this, Spider-Man. God damn it.
Web slinging slasher.
Just fucking run up and like jump and grab his legs.
Yeah, no.
You just got a koala. You have to fucking, you're holding on to his arms and you have your legs wrapped on his legs.
Yeah, no, it'd be, like I said, it would end up being a mess. Someone would be getting hurt.
Light his fucking pant leg on fire. You're coming down one way.
Just toss stink. I would say toss stink bombs up there, or fucking the tear gas. But if he's living with his own shit,
it's like the 40s, my guy. Care. I don't know if they had tear gas in the 40s.
I believe they did. Yeah, it had been around for a while.
You know what they did have though? Wrong. Sharp sticks to poke up into the roof.
I thought it was just batons.
Throw a hornet's nest in there. Later.
I mean, I don't know. From the sounds of it, he might have been fucking resilient to that too. He seemed like he gave no fucks as long as he could just live up there, regardless of what the conditions were.
The testicular fortitude on this fucking guy. He met this other dude at a guitar club, and then he went to his house asking for money and food, and then he broke in. He broke into his fucking house and he stole food, and then he killed the guy when he fucking got caught stealing food.
Yeah, that's a
wild-ass reaction is what that is.
That just sounds like something that would happen here downtown.
Hey, that's my chicken. Fuck you.
Clock. Oh, shit. I killed him.
Peters. Come on, dog. You can't sneak up on me like that.
Well, now your attic is mine. I am one with the attic.
Well, I hope your wife likes rooming with ghosts.
Yeah, no, it just boggles my mind. Like I said, that shit still fucking happens, if not on an even more grand scale. Like, worse shit happening. I mean, there was one video where it was like a person was going in, stealing food, stealing drinks, and then would sit and watch the person fucking sleep.
That's wild. Just eating a sandwich on top of him. Just watching him.
Basically, dude.
With this dude, I could forgive the breaking in. I could forgive the stealing food. I could almost forgive the murder. I can't forgive you shitting in a bucket and keeping it up there and not showering, you sick fuck.
Yeah, that's very, I can get why everyone said, the odor was bad and they didn't want to be there or around there. Because
man, shitting in an attic.
and then, sweating day in and out, like, what kind of weird fungus and shit is that putting on your body, and then you're not doing anything?
Oh, for sure this man had to have, like, bed sores or some shit.
Yeah, that's just gross. Guys, if you're falling on fucking hard times,
don't live in an attic.
Yeah, just ask people. Don't try and sneak into someone's house. Fucking,
don't shit in buckets is what we're telling you.
Yeah, don't do that either.
The fuck is wrong with you?
That's bad.
We love you. Don't shit in buckets.
And shower.
We're not mad. We're just disappointed.
And shower daily. Because you don't want to end up like this guy.
Fucking Spider-Man.
Yes, we will read cases, and yes, if they're worthy enough, they will get thrown on blast.
Jesus Christ, dude, that is fucking... I'm going to be thinking about this for a minute. I'm like, that nasty fuck.
I kind of now want to look at the statistics. Maybe I'll do that for a little snippet for next episode on just how many people or how many times that has happened in the past. And if it's been an increasing number or decreasing or staying the same.
Fuck, dude. Well, I think that's all we have from this week.
I believe that is it.
It's about time for us to go to bed. It's late.
Yeah, it's definitely getting there. This happened later than normal, but...
Oh my god, dude, it's 7:35. We're fucking old.
Well, I mean, think about it. We had bomb food, and then we got caught up watching some Chinese bargain hunting.
Man, on top of that, we laughed at the fucking... this gross spider dude for like a good 20 minutes.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Alrighty. Alright, guys. Well, this is all we have for you this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'd like to give you guys a shout out for everybody who's been checking out the YouTube page. We had some crazy growth in the last week from last episode to this week's episode.
Yeah, no,
we climbed by 1,000 something. It's insane. It's
nice, and on top of that, I know YouTube used to be my primary thing for hearing these stories, and that's why, the podcast started in the first place. I kept getting into this, and I was like, fuck it, I don't want to pay for YouTube Premium, so I'm going to start a podcast, and now went full circle, and now it's everywhere audio is found, and YouTube.
Yeah. Yes, guys, so just thank you for the support. Keep listening on.
We love you all.
Yep, and we'll see you guys next time in Helheim.